What a beautiful reminder of still some great toys that are going to be coming out. Takara Tomy Mall's website once again gave another update. And this time it was just some really good photo shoots of toys that up to this point we only really had like the CG mock-ups and renders from Hasbro. And it's that of the Earthrise Trailbreaker, the Studio Series Skipjack, and the one that I want to discuss the most today, the Cyberverse stuff, specifically Deluxe Arcee and Thunderhowl from the more high-end Deluxe line of Cyberverse. And it's so depressing when I look at these because of how quickly this line came and went in our lives, and I'll probably get into that later, but just looking at Arcee especially, I'm like, man, this toy looks really, really good. It looks really good, considering that, not too long after this photo shoot was posted, we also saw the Earthrise Arcee and how, that one is what it is. Anyone who saw my Twitter, I was commenting how it reminds me so much of the Gyro Zetter line, where it's just like, half of the car is just a removable accessory. Actually, Gyro Zetter was more than half of the car, but still, it's pretty rough to say the least. Where it's a breath of fresh air to see the Cyberverse one, and I mean, she looks really good. If I have one complaint about it, and maybe it's just this Takara version, maybe there is a little bit of a variant between the Japanese one and the American one, although I really doubt it in this day and age. It's not so much the case today. But I find that maybe her face area, a little too pink. It's kind of, I guess my fear is just because of the way that, the budget is today with Transformers, the gang molding. Could have added a little more of a white hue to Arcee's, like, I guess, her head and everything. But I know what's going on here. It's just that it's always, even though this is the deluxe price point and it's supposed to be the more high end of the Cyberverse stuff, they're really trying to keep it as limited as they can with the paint applications. They're painting essentially the blue areas and some gray areas, and that's it. Like, you're going to get your eyes, you're going to get your lips, you're going to get your eyebrows, the gray areas on her stomach and on her upper chest, the blue areas for her feet and knees, and, little touch-up areas here and there in the alt mode and the wheels. But otherwise, they're going to try to keep it to a bare minimum. And if they could gang mold a light pink and use that for the head and everything, instead of having to worry about having white in some areas and get away with it, Hasbro's going to do it. And that's just the unfortunate truth of what's happening with modern Transformers today, and how it's something we just got to get used to, is that the days of the mid to early 2000s budget, you could make fun of Armada toys all you want, but the budget on those Armada toys were a lot larger than the stuff that we have today. I just did a photo shoot today comparing the different regular colored Cyberverse Hot Rod toys together, and it didn't dawn on me until I really got them all together, just like how the Deluxe scale, which is supposed to be the high-end one for collectors, is almost one of the smallest in terms of size of the whole bunch, due to the fact that they just can't afford to give us a larger figure if they want something that has more articulation. I don't know, it's a weird state that we're in today, but I don't want to go off on a ramble. I want to celebrate this Arcee and the fact that we're getting her at all. This line could have ended and we would have never seen her as a character get a decent toy, but she would have probably ended up being a one-step or some kind of, even maybe she would have been relegated to just a tiny turbo changer and that's it. But nope, she actually got a decent figure, and not only that, she got it in the Deluxe scale, which is reserved only to 8 specific characters, Thunderhowl being the other one, who also looks really good, by the way. I can't wait to get both of them. That's all I'm missing right now. I'm just missing these two, and my my Cyberverse travels, I think, are done. And I think that the adventure is over, and it's been a great line. It's been a great series. I think, it's the only thing that just burns me up about it. It's just we didn't get enough. We did not get enough. Like, I remember I sat down and did the math, and if you take everything that exists of Cyberverse in terms of content, of episodes, you got 10 hours. 10 hours of content. That's ridiculous. And it's 10 hours of content that was given to us over a span of 2 years. Compare that to Beast Wars. We got 18 hours of content over a span of 3 years. And unlike Cyberverse, Beast Wars had video games, Beast Wars had comic books. Beast Wars had, all kinds of supplemental material. And then, like, another example, everyone always wants a Beast Wars Season 4, but how about Animated? Animated is another one of those series that's celebrated, and everyone wants another season of it. But even Animated had 14 hours of content. It was smaller than Beast Wars, but 14 hours of content over a span of 3 years. Also a case where, like, they didn't want the line to end, so we got, oddly enough, Arcee again, and Hot Rod and some others in an expansion line. Through the Toys R Us exclusive animated stuff. It had a DS game. It had a comic book. It had supplemental material. It had so much, where Cyberverse, like, I think Cyberverse, unfortunately, is either an example of how Hasbro is going to handle television fiction in the near future, or it's showing maybe the decline of Transformers right now from a storytelling standpoint. And it's a shame. And I hate to turn this whole segment into just me ragging on what's going on right now with Papa Hasbro and how they're handling the brand, but at the same time, it's like it's a shame that Cyberverse was as short as it was, a scant 10 hours. I can't rag on, like, a Michael Bay movieverse when they're movies. They're expected to be these smaller self-contained stories that have to be condensed out there. But even when you think about it, if you take the first movie, the second movie, and, I guess Dark of the Moon, and you slam them together, that's more content than Cyberverse is. Let alone the fact that all of those movie stuff have tons of supplemental material too, comic books, video games, everything. So it's sad. Cyberverse is just something that I enjoyed a lot. And aside from its little storytelling hiccups because of its runtime, I just wanted more. I wanted more. I felt that final season could have been a lot longer. Just that whole, and again, this is a bit of a bias, but that whole story with, like, Hot Rod and Perceptor and hiding from the Quintessons, that could have been a whole season in itself, with fleshed out half-hour stories of just trying to, I guess, unlock Autobots and slowly build the roster back. And there's just so much that could have been done there, but it just felt like this rushed, get it quickly, one and done, we got to move on to the next thing. And I really hope that the Netflix series, which unfortunately is also going to be short, but at least is going to be a half-hour format, but I hope this isn't going to be the way we're going to be telling stories in the future, because a lot of the characters that we fell in love with, even people who love Transformer Prime, we had so much time with those characters to understand and love them and enjoy them. I mean, I feel that more people connect with even Transformers 1986 movie Hot Rod more than they do with almost any character in Cyberverse, because they spent more time in a 1 hour and a half 1986 Transformer movie. They spent more time with Hot Rod and getting to know that character than they did most of the characters in Transformers Cyberverse, because of just how limited the amount of screen time characters had, how quickly they had to move along the story. And just, again, that format of 10 minutes leads to a very difficult writing style for something that's supposed to be episodic. The arc of a story, the bulk of the story, the denouement, the end of a story, all in 10 minutes. It's tough. It's tough, not to mention, the blistering credits that have to run by and the intro. It's a format that just can't exist if you want to get people to fall in love with those characters. And that's always been Transformers' success, has been people falling in love with those characters, not just to buy toys. And yeah, that's a whole other story. It's sad that this is what it turned into, this rant. But yeah, this Arcee, love the Arcee, love the double blaster that holds the little energy weapons. Love that it turns into the little turbo boost at the back. Again, I love Thunderhowl. It's a shame we didn't get more of him. Very Silver Bolty kind of character. Dug him a lot. I just really hope that these toys, when I get them in person, feel of good quality. It's unfortunate that some of the deluxe stuff, it kind of is hit or miss, and people are having QC issues with some of the energy stuff. And they're already, as a warning to people, from what I've been told, I haven't tested this myself because I don't want to bust my own figures, but if you leave the energy accessories in some of the characters over a long period of time, depending on the environment, you will damage your figures. So that's kind of a shame. But yeah, this is cool stuff. Let me know what you think about Arcee, especially. Am I the only one that thinks that she needs a little bit of a paint update to make her a little more show accurate? Or maybe that's just how it is with Hasbro with QC today. But let me know what you think about all of this.